Ready to load into the game for game number 2 between OME Wildfire and OME Storm. Again, they have switched sides, so OME Storm is starting on the red side. Wildfire starting on the blue side. This ping's coming down. Again, no early invades from either of these teams. I think that's interesting that Storm are not considering that, given the fact that they have the early game comp that can just walk in there. They have access to Nautilus Hook, have access to either Rammus's Q or Z, depending on which one he takes first. So could have run in there, but they just decided to play it safe. In this mid lane matchup, this is the one that I'm most interested in because Cass is definitely a feast or famine champion. She requires a little bit of help to come online, but if she does get those kills early, she becomes really difficult to deal with. She can pump out damage. She's this spam mage caster that becomes this oppressive mid laner if she gets early access to any kind of buffs or an early kill. So, and the same thing for 197. He's on a high skill expression champion. Yone is a very, very difficult champion to duel in lane sometimes, especially for casters. And this is a champion that if you're not careful, if you're not cognizant of where you're standing in lane, you're going to get knocked up, you're going to get slashed up, and, ultimately 197 can take trades and just retreat back underneath his turret if he doesn't like, what he sees. And, Yone can be a very difficult champion to gank, especially post-6. So it's going to be on consideration to try and get in or get the work done, set Lorticus up for success. Expect the same thing out of Peak. Peak had a phenomenal game this last round. Absolutely getting the work in. Have to go back and check what the final score line was in that game, but it was obnoxious is what it was. Luna and Teych just going to go ahead and try to get that early shove. They should be the first to get level 2 here, so that will give them additional pressure in the lane. And that's always tough when you're the receiving end of that as the other bot lane, because that means you're just going to get forced underneath your turn, and it feels difficult to try and get in a position where you can trade back. But nonetheless, they are going to be forced that again as Luna and Teych going to go ahead and take over to level 2, which means Puppitteer and Alpha, they're just going to retreat underneath their turret. They don't want to take any damage that they don't have to. Are they going to be an early knock up there? Lorticus trading on those Qs, though. 197 losing the end of that one. Lorticus might be able to run this down. Was the Conqueror stack there, but Lorticus is just going to back off. Has access to that Ignite, though. 197 taking the cleanse for that regard, so won't have any offensive summoner spells. Will just purely be playing defensive there. And that gives agency for Lorticus to make something happen in that lane. It gives them opportunities. SwotDus just going to continue to land those Qs. As early gank here is going to be flash for 197. Cleanse automatically grounded, though. Not able to do anything. Early flash for first blood. Consideration making that happen. That was absolutely what they needed. They want to try and get Lorticus on the board. It's a shame that the kill didn't go towards the way of the cast, but they'll be happy to have it. Lorticus is going to go ahead and shove this wave in. Won't have the teleports, so he'll have to walk back to lane, but that means that 197 will lose almost all of that farm. No minion wave there to kind of keep it off the tower, so that's a lot of gold going just straight into the dirt. And Lorticus is going to be coming back to a pretty nice wave state. It's going to bounce off the turret, go back to him. He should be coming back with at least a crystal. Obviously, she can't buy boots. No, he's just going to go ahead and buy the tome. Decent buy will help amplify some of the early magic damage. Won't necessarily give her more mana, so she should be fine here. It's going to be the stun. Should be able to walk out of this one. Going to be taking some tower shots, peak performance. We'll just going to absorb that gank. Not going to... Well, not going to have a flash to blow because he already blew it, so just have to sit there and continue to take that pressure. Performance still waiting in the wing. But SwotDus looks like he knows it's there, so won't step too far forward. Oh no, the recall was canceled. SwotDus know that. He doesn't see it yet. 2 fights going on right now. Potential fight in the top lane. 197 just trying to jump forward anywhere he can. Look at this combo. Teych is going to face check this. He's going to get seen. Stun's not going to land. Hook's going to land on top of Luna, but the shield prevents it. Not going to get knocked up. SwotDus still going to get caught in that top one. Exactly what we talked about. Jumping strike. Sorry, leaping strike going to land that one. So first kill for Paragax in the game. And that's where you want that to go. If you're on the side of this Wildfire team, you're happy to have that late game scaling threat in Jax. Go ahead and get that farm. Already has double the farm of SwotDus, so it's going to be difficult for that Malphite to continue to have effect in that lane. But that being said, so SwotDus right now in the comms is just saying scaling for late game, just waiting for 6. Because once he gets 6, then that's when the ganking opportunities open up. That being said, Paragax does have access to the flash, though, so by the time that level 6 comes around, SwotDus might not be able to just lock him down if Paragax can flash in time. So look to see that here in the next couple of minutes. First dragon spawning, it is going to be an Ocean Drake. Or sorry, not an Ocean Drake. It is going to be a Cloud Drake. So that, I think, on the whole of it probably favors the Storm comp just because of the speed that they have around the map and the go buttons that they want to have, especially Rammus. Not necessarily great for Wildfire in any regards, just because, you know, it's not going to necessarily help them out too much. They don't have anyone that wants to go fast outside of Sivir popping ultimate, but they do still want to not have to give that up if they can avoid it. SwotDus just trading autos right now. 197 doesn't have access to the ult. Is going to get the knock up. Peak performance is there. Rammus waiting in the wings. He's going to need a tower shot. The Peak doesn't have flash. They can't take this if they want to, but not going to land the stun. The Peak pressure gank gets in, gets out. Just lets Lorticus know that he's there. Doesn't want that cast thinking that they can do whatever he wants. And that's what we call a pressure gank. It's not necessarily to get plates or a kill or even really to kind of secure farm, as the ult's going to go straight into the back of 197. Unable to get it. They want to try and lock this down if they can. Tonight's going to happen. They're going to chase this underneath the turret. So ultimate 9 to spin it for nothing. 197 should be fine. Lorticus going to be out of mana. If 197 ticks over and consideration's not there, it could just be an early kill for Yone in that lane. That would be disastrous for Lorticus. Doesn't want to give over any kind of shutdown gold, any kind of extra gold over to this Yone. Again, the heavy dueling power of Jax and Yone, if they can get these late game items, they can get to a point where they can start to run these side lanes. They become damn near impossible to deal with. Puppitteer and Alpha, and they're now to the point now where they can start to kind of force back in this lane as Luna Teych have kind of lost a little bit of speed in that lane, especially after the ganks. So consideration, as long as he keeps putting pressure down there, Alpha and Puppitteer should just be fine and continue to shove this out. They'll be ready to contest for this next Drake whenever consideration does the next back, unless either of them happen to die. But no jungler down this way is you're going to get stunned up. Alpha going to land the hook right now. It's going to be shield out. Puppitteer ignited. Ticking. Teych. I think it's something. What else going to get? Going to try to lock down Alpha. Going to be another stun on top of it, though. Doesn't seem to miss with these. Exhaust going to come out. Luna going to cleanse it. Puppitteer. Now they've got to run. Alpha now going to beat a quick retreat. Going to land the hook. Land to the wall, and they're going to get out of here. That was a little bit closer than they maybe would have won, and that was what we were talking about. Taking an unfavorable trade, and now Luna and Teych, they'll have control of this lane again. Vi on this next reset, they'll be able to contest with Dragon as long as Puppitteer. Now, Luna and Teych don't stay here too long. They want to try and reset this soon. I know they want to get the rest of this wave, but Dragon's timer is going to be coming up soon where they want to take this in the window. Puppitteer Alpha not backing. Now, that's huge. If they try and contest this, they're going to die. Now, 197 will be able to roam for this here soon. He can get this consideration here. Teych low. This is what they needed. Jupiter trying to jump in. They have level 6. And the ultimate coming out. Going to be taunted up, and that will be the first one. So Luna going to drop in that bot lane. Meanwhile, Lorticus trying to trade something. It's going to be ultimate. Nice flash. Lorticus going to drop that one, and now Peak is going to be forced to back out of there. Doesn't have access to the level 6. It's going to get spotted out on the ward, and that means that the bot lane of Storm are going to be able to walk up there. Peak going to help try and shove out this wave. Lorticus just going to continue to throw Qs in the back of Peak, who has no magic resistance, so those start to hurt. Things coming down. Consideration has started up the Dragon, so this should just be the Cloud Drake going over this side of Storm. I'm going to contest them right now. Vi not going to come over the wall. No vision on it right now, so they don't know how much health it has. And instead, they're just going to opt to let the lane shove. 197 going to continue to put that out. Sorry, force that out. Trying to land another knockup. Lancing on top of Lorticus. Has no ultimate. No ignite available. Q's landing. It's so hard to trade on top of her. Peak maybe caught out here. Ultimate come out from Alpha. Peak going to try and get over the wall. Flash out. Is going to use the Sonic Punch to get over. Alpha just going to rotate to the mid lane. Punches being thrown for both these teams. They're swinging for the fences, trying to land anything that they can. Just trying to get this early game going. Right now, it is in favor of Storm. Gold dead even, but the Dragon provides them additional stats, and that's kind of great Dragon for them to have if they can get that on the soul. Next one will be Mountain. Interested to see what the third Drake will be. 97 jumping in. There's people here to help. Lorticus going to get that one. Clint's going to come out. Teych trying to see if he can get off, or finish that kill, but not going to be able to. People waiting in the wing. Wasn't respectful of the roaming potential, and wasn't respectful of the fact that Storm just hadn't backed. So we're just going to go out of there. The Wildfire. At this point in the early game, in the last game, they had already had about 5 or 6 kills, and Peak Performance was already becoming a menace on the Rift. Much more subdued this game, only 0-0-1. No kills right now. Consideration being a little bit more active on the map right now. Team's a little bit farther ahead. Gold is still fairly close. But I think the thing to watch for is even though they have a little bit extra in terms of kill, the farming has gone much better for the side of Wildfire. If you're looking across the board, a lot of that is really coming from that top difference. 81 to 46 CS. About dead even in the mid lane. A couple on the bot, so not a lot to write home about, but that top lane difference is the most important. Paragax already has that Vampire Scepter. be working to finish that next item here soon. Would like to get a couple more turret plates if he can. Will make the most of that gold. And again, the sooner that this Jax gets online, it's Cassiopeia going to land. And the stun gets traded back by a Q. Peak performance is here. He has access to the ultimate. Is going to miss the dash forward. The SwotDus will be fine. Just jump in. Dipping strike by Paragax. Just trying to land much damage as they can to force SwotDus out so they can get some more plates. But the Malphite's starting to get a little bit more tanky. Has that Ruby Crystal, so we'll be able to take up some damage. But needs to be careful stepping too far forward. Just remain respectful of the fact that Peak is still there. Won't have access to the ultimate. As Paragax might drop here. Does SwotDus go forward to land out of the queue? They're bringing 197 up. Do they want to dive this? SwotDus no access to the ultimate. Does have flash. Can't just walk out from the turret. Paragax eating up a lot of minion aggro there. As it is going to be the dive down on SwotDus. And they will be able to get a flash out. Is it going to be a trade? Yes, they will be able to get one. So a 1-for-1 in the end after the Summoners committed there. Blows flash in the end. Might could have just avoided using that summoner knowing he was going to die, but does get the kill in the end, so not terrible. If you're Malphite, you're okay with that one. You're fine coming back with your Balmy Cinder. And it's going to be a completed pair of boots, so he'll not feel so bad. He's like, yeah, I died, but what did it cost you? Is Teych going to be losing his life. It's going to cost them a lot. Puppitteer going to pick up another kill. Puts him straight into the dirt. As Jax now deciding that he wants to be in the mid lane, but may have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew, as that snake's got fangs and it bites hard. You don't want to get too close to it because you get snip, snip, snip. Lorticus, no access to the Ignite. That was probably good for Paragax that he didn't have it, because that would have been disastrous if Lorticus had Flash and Ignite. That might have been a kill going over. OME Storm much more active in this game. They're fighting back, showing that they have the early game prowess that they need to kind of bridge the gap. It's successful thus far. Kills, I think, largely going where you want to. Obviously, you'd like those 2 kills that are on consideration to maybe be on the Cass or the Nilah. But honestly, you'll take what you can get right now just to make sure that you're not giving over too much. I would say that they definitely know that they're on a timer in terms of late game scaling, just because at some point, 500 CS win condition Sivir is just going to run away with the game no matter what you do. So again, just trying to make sure that they can manage those expectations and know that they do need to, at some point in the game, somewhat early. Lorticus is their late game insurance, however, though, so that Cass is going to continue to just be absolutely lethal in some of these team fights, and especially in any 1v1 situations. But you don't want to give Sivir too much time to continue to level up, and especially Jax too, who's going to be able to start picking off a couple of the solo carries that might be trying to contest him in the lane. I fully expect to see the 1-3-1 setup now. People here, SwotDus around the corner. And Peak was also there, so it would have been quite the little rumble, but they decide not to take it in the end. All right, items. What have we got on the board right now? I mean, not a whole lot to write home about, honestly. Sivir, Kraken Slayer, that feels good. Just a new quiver there for Nilah, so not quite completed that item yet. Does already have the completed boots, though. Leandry is there for Lorticus, so that pretty much just means that this cast is online. 1 item power spike. Lorticus just gonna cue him, saying, hey, I don't enjoy having my tail stepped on. Please don't do that. And then throw some acid in his face. It's not an enjoyable experience. Would not recommend it. 197 decided he didn't like it either, so backed up underneath the turret. Storm forcing their way into this bot side jungle on the side of Wildfire. They're going to trade a red buff, but they're going to lose a tower. This is going to go down before 14 minutes. This is going to start to feel pretty good for them. Dragon is up, though, so they can't just go ahead and turn towards that, and they are, in fact, going to ping down on it. But they might get the worst into this trade, because by the time they get this Dragon, that turret is going to be gone. Yeah, Lorticus is not going to get there in time. I'm not sure that this is worth. Mountain Dragon's going to feel good to make you a little bit tankier, but you might lose this bot lane turret. They could just dive Cass. She does have access to the ultimate, has access to Flash Ignite. But there are 2 people here. She's going to flash in. It's going to be an instant ultimate out. She is going to die, and this will just be the second turret going down. Paragax is going to be ticking, walks out of turret range, and this will be the second turret going down at the trade of a Dragon. So they lose a kill. They lose a major structure, and now that top lane is wide open. So that means that someone's going to have to constantly answer that, because Paragax is just going to be able to run the full length of it and start to farm, start to have a really nice lane to collect money, and become borderline unmanageable. But speaking of management, they're going to try and do it. Paragax going to go on and get out of here. And AlphaZero lands the hook, says, where are you going? I didn't tell you could leave. And SwotDus going to clean that one up. Nice ultimate out. I think it was a little bit of excessive. I don't think you necessarily needed the ultimate for that. But hey, it's got to feel good just to land it and get a kill for it. SwotDus going to be 2-2. Still a lot of farm down, though. The eventual response coming out there by Storm. But lost a structure, lost a kill for it. So it is just coming to parity in the end. Is 197. Starting to knock down on top of that Yone. Or sorry, on top of the Nautilus. Doesn't get much out of it, though. He spends the ultimate, doesn't get the kill. Doesn't blow any summoners either, though. So, in the end, you're fine with that trade. Get in, get out. That's what Yone does. Just continue to be obnoxious, dive underneath turrets, make yourself really, really difficult to target, and continue to land damage, forcing people out. And it's going to force the reset at Alpha, so he'll have to come rejoin Puppitteer in the bot lane a little bit later. And for Wildfire, now that you've got this Jax to a pretty good point, you've got the Blade of the Ruined King and a completed pair of boots. You also have another Sheen in your inventory. You can honestly start to set this Jax into a side lane and just let him start to go and dare anybody to really come deal with him. Have peak performance kind of shadow him along with the jungle and just play to get some of these individual picks. Lorticus might be caught out here. Oh, that is the patience of a lifetime for Paragax to wait out that ultimate. And now Lorticus is just going to have to sit there and eat this one. Going to be the counter-strike landing. Going to get the stun. And it should just be auto. 1, 2, boop. And he's gotten. Yeah, Paragax going to hit him with the bonk. Get the kill. And that's 3-1 and 0. On that Jack so far, he's going to be feeling pretty good. And Blade of the Ruined King also completed for 197, so now they can start to set this 1-3-1 comp up if they want to. Yone has access to both his boots and his summoner, so he can continue to play a long lane. Jack's also going to have the same opportunity. And now this is where OME Storm is really going to get pushed to the limit in terms of how they approach the strategy, because if they start to get stretched across the map without any answers to any of these side lane threats, they're going to start to find themselves losing team fights, losing a lot of gold, and getting down in items as neutral objectives start to become more available. And this is kind of what Wildfire was talking about in terms of having individual onus for their players, you know, to have high skill expression and to kind of run the lanes the way they want to. And this is definitely part of the playstyle you know, that Paragax was talking about in the interview in terms of how they want to play this game. And we're already starting to see that. Paragax all the way up there by himself. No one really in the vicinity to stop him, so he's just going to continue to farm. Next dragon coming up in 2 minutes. Has access to the teleport, so he can rejoin a neutral objective fight anytime he wants to. 197 just continuing to land damage on top of SwotDus. We continue to push that out. It's going to be a gank in the mid lane. It's going to be ultimate on top of it. 197 dashing in. 197 dashing out, breaking ankles. He wants to try to get something. SwotDus flash out. This is a duo fight in the mid lane. SwotDus trying to survive right now. Pete, can he get something else? Going to be flash forward. They are going to get it. Alpha trying to land. The ultimate is going to get caught, though, underneath the turret. So going to try and make his way out of there. Peak will get out. It's a 1-for-0 trade. Alpha hooks the turret. Oh, no! You hate to see it. Paragax is here. He's going to land the counter-strike. That's going to be one. Ultimate comes out, but is it just going to be to try and survive? 197 jump in. Can he get a double kill for Paragax? He's going to get the double. He might get the triple. Lorticus, run, my friend. But you have nowhere to go. It's a triple kill. Paragax on the Jax. He gets it done. Sets him up and knocks him down, and that should be all he needs to start to complete that second item. He'll come back. They'll get ready to set up for Dragon. And man, that has to feel good for OME Wildfire winning that fight in the mid lane. A fight that OME Storm kind of wanted to try and take back over. Luna's going to knock down this tower in the bot lane. And that gold's going to start to explode. 32,000 for them, so about a 4K gold lead. Fantastic response from Wildfire. Now they'll start to come back out. So seceding those two dragons suddenly doesn't feel so bad, especially now that you've got pressure in these lanes. Your Jax is absolutely starting to become online. He's got the Divine Sunderer. He's got that Blade of the Ruined King 6-1 and 0. Going to be really difficult to deal with. And the individual prowess on display from Wildfire. Again, exactly what Paragax talked about, enabling his players to do that. That's exactly what they're going to get. SwotDus going to have to walk himself out of there. He has access to the ultimate here soon. But it may not be enough to really kill Nautilus. He's not here. Has access to the teleport. Both top laners can join this fight when they want to. 20 seconds on drag. And this is going to be a huge fight for both of these teams because they both want this dragon. Ocean Drake would mean a lot for both of them, especially for the Jax having the regen, and Ocean Soul. That's about as easy a way to win a game for that Wildfire comp as any. And Jax having additional access to any kind of healing and survivability is not what OME Storm wants. They're going to go ahead and try and start this one off, but it's a mad dash to get there. No teleports. They're just going to run it, trying to hoof it down there. This dragon is going quickly. It's already down to 5. They may not get there in time. This dragon may already be gone. 3 here. Taric is here. It's going to be peak performance over the wall. It's going to be the ultimate con. And now it's going to be the counter-strike landing on top of Cassandra with the team fight is going out. Where can they get though? The backline is going to be absorbed. 197 slays Lorticus. And now it's getting turned Storm. They've had it turned. They tried to start the dragon. And now they can't get out though. It's going to be another kill. Paragax is unstoppable. And OME Wildfire is unstoppable. They're going to get this dragon. They're going to win the team fight. And they can go to Baron if they want to. It's going to be up in a couple seconds. They can just run straight there. There's nothing that Storm can do about it. An absolute perfection in those team fights. Paragax getting around the back, killing absolutely everybody in that one. Great team fight synergy, great focus. They just threw Storm into the ground. Again, it was only a couple minutes ago that there was a slight gold lead for Storm, and they had the kill advantage, had the dragon advantage, but now that's all gone. This dragon is just going to go so quickly. Having access to that Jax just means they're going to shred this, especially with Luna on that Sivir. There's just absolutely nothing that Storm can do. They're going to try and rush out, but honestly, there's nothing that they can do to get in the pit. There's just going to be in time to see it go down. It's going to be the reset there. Looked momentarily like he might get caught, like the Rammus might try and go in, but he decides not to. Instead, just chooses to reset. Now, Wildfire, they have complete control of this game now. That is not an exaggeration in any way, shape, or form, and I think it'd be hard to, considering that they almost have a 10k gold lead. And now, they can go where they want, they can do what they want, so now it's up to them to close this game out cleanly. It's one thing to have a gold lead, it's another to finish with it. How efficient can they be with Baron? 20 minutes. And they've already got it. They got the objective on spawn. This would be a good time for them to start knocking down the remaining structures. Storm just trying to set up in this bot lane, see if they can get something. Paragax is pushing. They would need to commit multiple members to try and get him. How quickly could the members of Wildfire respawn? It would take them a bit of doing. Ping's coming down there. Teych just going to go and start to clear some of this vision. Start to try and get as much inwards as they can. As SwotDus just trying to keep 197 in check, trying to buy time, just trying to slow this push, but having Baron means that, you know, the slow inexorable push is inevitable. The structures will start to fall as long as they play this cleanly. The 1-3-1 in full effect right now. So now Storm, they're getting dragged across the map. They have to choose where they want to go. They're going to go down on top of Luna. Jabs the first ability, pops the ultimate. What else going to get? Going to be full access now. SwotDus trying to get on top of it. They're going to knock down Luna. And there will be the disengage there from Jax, who hasn't decided he wants to back yet. They're waiting in this push. Do they feel like they can get Rammus? Do they feel like they can knock him down? Ball's going to expire. What else can they get? No ultimates now on the side of Storm. They have to try and get this one. 197 going to jump in. Gets the 4-man ultimate on top of him. And that's going to be the first one going down. Consideration's down. 197's on a rampage. And he's knocking him down. It's a quadra kill. Sorry, triple kill for 197. He set him up like pins. And then like a bowling ball crashed straight through him. It's a strike there. And the other one remaining alive is Lorticus, who had to back, and now it's just going to be the base invade here. Structures are going to start to fall. It's for sure going to be an inhibitor. Wildfire, absolutely living up to the main stake. You can only play with fire so long before you get burned. An incredible job at him to turn that fight around. Lorticus, though, not safe underneath the turret, trying to get something here. 197 jumping back in. One more auto would do it, gets it out. He's godlike. He's going to knock down the turret. And now, Consideration might be caught up here. Going to be cleansed out. Can he live? No. Yes, no, he does live. He gets out. It was going to be one more auto. Peek going to try and duel him, though. They both just need to run. Peek, one more auto. Is going to tick over. And now SwotDus just trying to do something. He's going to have access to the ultimate. 197 don't get seen because it would be a nasty Malphite ultimate. Flash would kill them both. Oh, it is just going to be the reset there. Jax getting work done. Getting quite a bit of damage into that mid lane turret. He ended up getting one member there. Oh, no! He's been caught! Peek, can he manage to get out? It's going to be a follow-up on the Malphite ult, and he is going to drop. Got caught backing on a ward. They knew that they cleared it out, knew he was still there. There was a greedy recall, and he gets punished. It might not mean much for right now, but it is something, getting that gold back, getting a shutdown. And it's better than a swift kick in the rear as they lose that bottom turret. And now, OME Storm, they're in damage control. They are trying to do anything they can to draw this game out. Especially after losing that fight. 197, going to be super happy with that. It looked like a quadra kill, I thought, at the beginning, but it wasn't. Ended up getting the triple, though. 8, 3, and 8. 3-item power spike right now. Infinity Edge. Along with that Blade of the Ruined King. He's going to wait. Very, very intelligent. And wait to pull that back out. Can he get over? Is going to ultimate out. The hook's not going to land. It's going to be unstoppable. Consideration going to try and get out. Gets the taunt, though. Can he make it back underneath the turret? 9-7 running. Running Consideration. Going to land the Powerball, though. But it might not be enough. He might take over. Hooked up underneath the turret. 197 still surviving. And now he gets to run in. You picked a fight you couldn't win, my friend. And now SwotDus, he's got to run. Because Taric and Luminous, they want to run him down. Now they're going to be able to. 197 said, yeah, I'll fight you underneath my turret. What are you going to do about it? Kill me? Pfft. Survives for so long. And now he just gets to run back out after that reset. Paragax. Oh, he's a menace. He's in a base. He's trying to knock down Puppitteer. Can he get this, though? It's 2v1. Can the Wildfire top laner win it? Ultimate out. Gonna get the strike. Counter strike. Gonna land a stun. That's not gonna get out, though. Nilah gonna knock that one down. So big greedy from Paragax. A bit of hubris punish there. Gonna give over that gold. 7, 2, and 3. But that just means it's going to be an empowered recall, and it means that because Storm are stuck in their base, they're going to lose this next dragon. As Wildfire starting to try to secure that Ocean Drake win condition. They're waiting for everybody to... I wonder if they want to hold this. They can't hold it for... Yeah, they can't hold it forever. It's just going to take over. They were trying to wait for Paragax to come up, but... That or he was typing. I can't imagine there was any reason that you would need to hold that for anybody, so... It must have just been typing. Now for Storm, you never want to try and count this out. You never want to count a team out until the game is actually over. Or until it absolutely is unwinnable. But right now, Storm... Just so few ways back into this game for them, to be honest with you. They're solely reliant on Alpha getting on top with his ulti on some of these carries, but there's so much deniability in terms of the CC. And Luna does have access to that W, which gives her the shielding, so it's going to prevent the CC. Paragax is really, really difficult to knock down because of his Counter-Strike. And Peak is providing so much coverage in these, these 1v1s, these 2v2s. It's really difficult to get on top of the squishy member, so it's going to be a full commit to try and eliminate Luna, or try and eliminate Teych before they can start to get these ultimates popped. It's really difficult to try and say that you could kill Paragax outright just because he has so much survivability with a Counter-Strike, unless he just gets outright caught. 9-7. And then catch SwotDus here. This is not where this Malphite wants to get caught. He has reinforcements. 9-7 just going to go back out of there. SwotDus loses half of his health. If that Yone had ulted, that might have been a kill. Had Cleanse to get out of there. It's just going to be the second Baron start here, knowing the considerations down on that bot side. Yeah, they're just pinging it out. They know they can't contest this, know that they don't want to do anything, so they're just going to try and wait. Good ulti down on top of 197. He can get out of here, though. Going to go the opposite direction. Has his clone in the opposite direction, so not going to want to go back that way. Can he get a single kill? No, it's just going to be the 5-man commit there, so at least one member won't have Baron. They knock him down before it goes off. Just going to get the reset there. They'll take whatever they can get. It's a consolation prize, and a soul one to be that. But they'll take what they can get. Paragax now, I'm wasting no time. Teleports down into that bot lane, starts to put pressure. 3 in the mid lane. They're going to want to try and knock down this mid lane tower. Want to keep these inhibitors down so they have free roam of the map. And while they don't necessarily have the range to siege, they can't just sit here and wait for these minions. Consideration, just trying to appear threatening, trying to puff himself up and make this Wildfire squad reconsider their strategy. But you've got a Jax in that bot lane. He takes at least 2 people to answer. So they'll always have a man advantage so long as they have 5 people up. And Wildfire, now they just need to close this out cleanly. They just need to find one more team fight, start to slowly siege the base, force Storm to take them on their own terms. Pick off those squishier members and then just walk the minions back into the base. Be another 2 minutes on drag. And that's another win condition they have. They can always force Storm to try and enforce them on that one. Storm can afford to give up one more dragon, but once you get to triple Ocean Soul, the 4th dragon, you have to contest it or you're going to lose the game, especially with a team comp that Wildfire have. Jax, Vi, Yone, even Sivir, and especially a Taric. You do not want those champions having Ocean Soul, because then an already difficult task becomes nearly impossible. Storm, though, just trying to find anything, trying to make anything work. They had such an impressive early game. Energy to make plays around the map, consideration being so active, but again, some of the weaknesses that we highlighted with that Rammus, though, just doesn't have a lot in terms of survivability, even given the current patch. He wants to try and find something right here, though. This needs to be the engage. And they'll land the ultimate on top of it. Malphite on top of that one, though. But Taric does manage to get the ultimate out, and now it's rock and roll time. You picked a fight you couldn't win, Storm, and now you're going to get punished for it. SwotDus, he's going to get knocked into the ground here soon. It's going to be a knock-up. Luna wants to knock him down, flash over the wall, just to try and survive. But the only thing he's going to do is survive to see his base kick knocked down. Puppitteer trying to do anything, trying to get free. One more flash out, trying to see if he can stall the members, but it's not going to be enough. Jax is on the turrets. They're knocking down the mid lane, and here, Puppitteer, he can only watch as the base starts to get taken down. He can only watch in misery as the minions are going to crawl in. The Baron empowered OME Wildfire are going to knock it down. They want to try and knock down Puppitteer if they can, but they don't need to. They're going to secure the Nexus and secure their first season win.